Good. We got the Chicago Bears shirt. Hey, welcome. WinDailySports.com. The Bet Like Mike Show, another edition, a Thursday edition of the Bet Like Mike Show. I can't believe we're coming up on almost 2 weeks now of doing this show. For 2 full weeks of the Bet Like Mike Show. I'm just glad Jason kept us on for that long. But that's what happens when you.
I'm indebted to Jason. Thank you, Jason. Now let me get down on my knees.
That's what happens when you win, though. You if you win, you get to stay on the table. You know what I mean? You don't go away. You don't fold on a heater. You know what I mean, Mike North? You stay when you're winning, and we're winning right now on the Bet Like Mike Show.
How about you? 3-0 yesterday, kid. Don't even let me do the talking here. 3-0 for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The head thing, I'll put it away now. We don't have to worry about what kind
At least it's forward again today. That's good.
Yeah, I like that. We'll see what happens. You go 3-0. I went 1-1. And by the way, we gave out the San Antonio Spurs. I know Johnny got it at 5. I got it at 4.5. We gave it out on the show, folks, at 4. It don't matter. If you took the Spurs last night, you got 4.5 or 5. That's a winner for us. I always usually count to believe me. Ask anybody that gambles. If you push, that's a win. If you push that, it's never a loss to me because some of these games that you push, you might have been losing by 10 points, like in a football game. So it depends what the circumstances are. But, John, I've always thought when it came to gambling that if you get a tie, that's better than losing the game.
Well, yeah, and we're doing this. We're doing this early in the day. I guess my advice is to everyone: shop the best price. Right. We are giving a play on the Spurs, but we obviously want to take that at the best price possible that we can. So whether that was 4.5 or that was 5 that you were to get, like that was right before tip off. I was able to get 5. It's always I'm giving a play in the morning, and it's always best price. Most of the time for Major League Baseball, you're going to get the best price probably in the morning. For something like basketball and even the NFL, you may be going to get it day of, a little bit before the game, all of that. So, I just always shop for best price. And to me, the Spurs' best price was 4.5, 5. That was
great point. You're sharp this morning. That's a great point.
Thank you,
my friend. No, seriously, that we do this show at 11 o'clock, and folks every day, and just look at what you thank all the folks at WinDailySports.com that bring this great show here. We consider ourselves one of the top franchises here. And I also know that there's another top franchise, and we're going to give you our picks as we always do at the 15-minute mark. But it's time for a couple topics that we have to go through right now. Now, Sia, I wouldn't want to be my guy, and his PGA golf show is
amazing. It's incredible. It's so good.
And I wanted to discuss that today first because he's a great guy.
Yeah.
And it's a great show. And I got into golf betting this year for the first time because of COVID.
A lot of people, I think I'll just say this real quick. Golf has, I think, benefited most from sports betting than any other sport. Golf has seen a boom. And I think it's a lot because of sports betting. I really do. A lot of people are watching that.
I'm watching. Yeah. I watch every week. I don't care if it's the Vaspar Open. I don't care if it's the, Timbuktu Open. To me, if you have money on a golf match, or if you're playing matchups, or if you're picking a guy like I am going to give out a pick for today,
nice.
It's really your Masters. Some guy told me one time I was betting a horse race from Laurel, and he goes, "Boy, that Laurel's some track, isn't it?" He goes, "Hey, who you taking for the Derby?" I go, "Every damn race is a Kentucky Derby to me." I
love it.
By the hype and the name and the nonsense. So the PGA. I'm happy for the PGA, but every week I go through a PGA type situation.
I love it.
COVID was the main deal. And I think even the PGA could have come earlier than they did. It was a manageable sport. Excuse me. All you needed was the caddy, the golfer, and the officials. It would have been easy. They could have been the leaders in the clubhouse. They wasted time, in my opinion. Now, that being said, once it started, they were the only game in town.
Yeah.
And I started betting it. I won about 3 weeks in with Justin Thomas. I was betting him on a Sunday. He came back from 2 down. Got him at $1,800. I'm not going to say I put down more than 500, but I didn't put out less than 100. Let me put it to you this way: it was a good payday either way you go.
Yes, it was.
So I wake up today, and I never did this in the decades that I've been gambling since I was 14 years old. I'm looking this morning already. What time does this guy tee off? What time does that guy tee off? Because it's the best thing for us. It's the best thing for a guy like me who's older now and proud of it. I guess people are supposed to be ashamed because they're a boomer.
Hey, everybody goes through it. Yeah, we're all going to be there.
You better hope everybody who doesn't like boomers, you're going to be one, and you better hope you live to be one. Okay, so anyway, all I'm telling you is I took Jon Rahm today to start off at plus 1,400 to win the tournament outright. That doesn't mean throughout the week I'm not going to play matchups and anything else.
Or you can find, after every round, you can find another bet for somebody, outright to win. Yeah, there's always value somewhere.
I think golf is going to be, because football betting's always been there. I think hockey betting's become more popular. It's an easy, I think, sport to handicap for me. The NBA is the toughest because of the players. You don't know what they're going to do, although the playoffs now should be more secure.
Yeah, and they so far have been. I've been doing well, NBA, the play-in tournaments at least. I've been doing well. So, yeah, now that we already know what to expect in these games and who's going to play. It is becoming a little bit more easier to handicap, I would say.
Now, let me get this straight, because I still don't have this down. Maybe you know this because you're a young guy and you're into confusion in sports.
Yeah, I like that.
I need everything put down for me, okay? Is Golden State still in this?
Yes. So they are going to play in the second game of the play-in tournament in the Western Conference. And if they win, if they lose, they're out. If they win, they get the 8th seed. So Lakers won the 7th seed, and now this game is going to be for the 8th seed.
So my point is this. I don't care what the score was last night. I don't care who won last night.
Golden State has to be in the playoffs. Just give them a playoff spot, please.
I mean, my God. I mean, if last night would have depended, if LeBron gets in or stuff, I actually set the alarm before I go to sleep at 8:45, and I'm ready to go. That would have been a game.
Yeah.
And it still was a good game. But
great game.
They're still alive, both of them. And Golden State, Steph Curry's just an amazing player. I said 3 months ago he should be the MVP, even though I had picked the Joker.
Yeah.
And
at this point, it's hard to argue. And I know Joker's the big overwhelming favorite. It's hard to argue against Steph, though. I mean, what he's doing with that team that he has, I am shocked they are in the position that they're in. And we're almost able to beat the Lakers to take the 7th seed. I'm completely shocked.
I am, too. And he lost a lot of his weapons and everything else. So the thing about them, it's a team sport. The thing I like about golf, I mean, like I said, these guys make $800,000 for finishing second. They'll probably make more with the PGA. I mean, Matt Kuchar's going to make millions of dollars for finishing in the top 30 every tournament, making the cut. And you got to be great to make it. Okay. But the thing I like is you don't hear about the guys that starve, that travel in the RVs, that try to make their cards. Okay.
Same with tennis. I know tennis is like that. We're hearing those stories.
If you're a top 100, you could go in anywhere in the country and beat any top club pro. Yeah. And destroy them, but you're a nobody, and you're drowning in debt if you don't have sponsors. And some of these sponsors, they'll go, yeah, we'll give you your 100th in the company. You don't think they give them the same amount of money that they give the first guy? I mean, that's not going to happen. Yeah. I mean, McEnroe was going to get a lot more money than anybody else back in the day before everybody became robots and you could have a personality.
Yeah, Roger Federer, I would imagine, makes a lot more dollars than the 100th player.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what I'm going to say is, for my PGA brethren, I love them all. I'm going with Jon Rahm, and then I want to get your opinion on betting golf, because and I know that people that like to bet golf will probably agree with this, but I then will argue it's for all sports. But I'm taking Jon Rahm to start off with. Who do you like?
Oh, for the PGA Championship, I would love to say Bryson, and I know that's not the good pick, because I had seen Ajad tell me that it's not a good pick. I had Joel Schreck, also of WinDailySports.com, telling me, look, Bryson just too wild off the tee, too inconsistent. But I mean, if he's going to bulk up, and this is literally the course that he's been training for. It's a long course. You have to be long off the tee. And this is exactly what Bryson DeChambeau was training all of his time for, was to be able to win a tournament like this easily. So I would say Bryson, but I know he's probably going to be extremely wide off the tee, and that's not going to be a good pick at the end of the day.
Well, you know what? You never know because, I hear everybody picking this guy, Justin, that guy, Justin Thomas, Justin Rose. I'm hearing the same thing.
And if it's not Justin, it's Dustin,
Which right, or Dustin, exactly. Which leads me to this. I saw on Twitter, I forget who said it. They said, betting golf is nothing but bingo, like playing bingo. You're going with your gut instinct. That's wrong. Because, see, I used to bet football like that. I used to bet baseball, basketball, all like that. Pick them out, look in the paper. It was like bingo. But now
Right.
I'm as good as they come. I got a track record the last 4 or 5 years to prove it. And I think that's a slap in the face of Najad. I think it's a slap of the coach, Jonathan Coachman.
Who's great.
Guys I have taken picks from that know what they're doing. It's not just like playing bingo. Do you agree?
No, it's definitely not. Everything, football to me, I'm starting to, as I bet more and more and more, I'm starting to figure out my tendencies, and how they change and all that. With the NFL, I think we bet narrative more than any other sport. But football, we bet, we fade the public a lot in football. With baseball, it's more behind the numbers. I even think with hockey, it's a little bit behind the numbers, and basketball. And now golf, it's not anymore just a narrative or any, it's your betting. And Sina Jad and the crew over there, WinDailySports.com, which are on right now, they do an amazing job of figuring out, okay, guys who do well in these aspects works well on this course, and here's the value of a guy like that. It's the numbers and science behind it's great.
You know who had Spieth Sunday? The Golf Channel. Golf Channel. It was, and I like the Golf Channel. It was nauseating though. You had one girl going, well, I really like Jordan Spieth. Oh, I like Jordan Spieth. And then they hardly mentioned the rest of the field. They didn't mention hardly Sam Burns. I'm going, wait a minute now. Then the kid that won from Asia, they didn't even bring him up hardly.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear. I understand there are people that are in handicapping now that know golf that shouldn't be handicapping golf, and there are people like myself who've won a couple times this year who I'm not a golf handicapper, but I've been fortunate because I look at the field and I use some of my maybe expertise on my system, but it doesn't work all that way. But to just call it bingo, I think it's guys that know what they're doing.
I think golf more than others too. And when you're doing individual and you have so many things, so many golfers to bet on, it's not like, a finite amount of games or teams in a league. You have to do a lot of bankroll managing, I would say, in golf.
Right.
You got to know when to sprinkle on the long shots. You got to know when it's worth risking some money on a favorite or trying to take those matchups. It's trying to figure out a bankroll because there are many different ways to bet golf, and there are probably all some good value in so many different aspects of betting, like leader after one or matchups or outright winners. I think bankroll management in golf is maybe the most important in anything.
We got a couple other things to talk about real quick. There was another no-hitter. I know you're a youngster. The game sucks. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, and so
the fact that there's one almost once a week now, like I said yesterday, it's like they heard the show yesterday and they said, we're going to try to be as inept as we can be tonight. I seen the greats like Bob Gibson pitch. And I know these guys would win 1-0 games, but somebody would get a hit. This is becoming an epidemic. Would you not agree?
Yeah, I think it is. And why it keeps becoming a problem, or why we keep talking about it too, I think is because the baseball has become the baseball itself is being changed so much that's all we think of. Like, what are they doing with the baseball? Last year and a couple years ago, it was jumping off the bat. And so, did they deaden it? What? But I do a show with a hitting coach on a station.
Who is this guy? Because you brought him up yesterday. Who's the
Dan Hennigan. He's a hitting coach who works with professional players.
Tell me what he said, and let's get to the point here, because you're going to explain a lot about something that ain't happening.
Right, but it's what they changed with the baseball is not the bounciness of it, but because they've changed it, it's making pitches nastier. Instead, sliders are breaking a lot more, curveballs are breaking a lot more, and to me that makes sense because I feel like pitchers have just gotten way too good now, and it makes sense that if the ball is helping them, create a slider that's going to break more, then that's the problem. I think than just the ball flying out.
Blame to the hitters. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If they face the 60 lineups, these guys would get their brains beat in. I don't care what the ball would do. They're talking about lowering the mound. Pretty soon they're going to be pitching out of a hole. Okay. I mean, that's always the pitcher's fault. No, it's the hitter's fault. Tell the coach that. Anyway, guess what else I got, Johnny? I got something good for you. We got our picks because we're ready to roll. We're ready to go. And I'll tell you this. We've been on fire, but I'm going to give the honor today to my man. He wore that hat yesterday. He's had an East Carolina Pirate hat, my friend.
There we go.
Okay. You can go first. You could start things off for today, my friend.
I'm going to go with, oh man, I thought I had something ready to go, and
I'll go.
You go, because I was about to say it and then I backed off. Go ahead.
Wagon just went off into the ravine. A team of horses went down. I'm all over the place. I ask you to drive the wagon. You ready? I like Toronto today. This is a gutsy pick against Pavetta, I believe, is going against Toronto versus Boston. Toronto's minus 128. And to me, it's almost like Minnesota being favored against the White Sox, but this is what it gave me. Toronto over Boston. So I'm going to take Toronto minus the 128, John.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Athletics. I do like the price right now with Cole Irvin on the mound. Oakland and the Astros have kind of gone. Yeah, they've gone back to back here. Astros 1-1, Oakland did. I like the pitching matchup today for Oakland. And I like the way Cole Irvin's been pitching. So I'm going to back up the Oakland Athletics today. Plus money at home. I like that.
Awesome, my friend. I got another one for everybody. I know it's an embarrassment of riches, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Reds. It's starting in about 15, 20 minutes. San Francisco's just on a roll. San Francisco, are they for real? Am I going to get taken down by them again? I mean, there's been a couple teams that the system's given me that was supposed to beat the White Sox and the Giants, and all. It keeps giving me teams going against these two teams, and all they do is keep on winning. So I'm going with the Cincinnati Reds coming up shortly. And when I took it down, it was about minus 128, something like that. So just whatever the best odds you can get, take Cincinnati on my recommendation. Otherwise, you can go opposite.
Yeah, and I'm going to, and this is, I'm going to do it even though there's a few things that's telling me not to, because the Phillies haven't played well against the Marlins. And yesterday, I think, was a good example, even for most of the game the day before. But I like the way Vince Velasquez is pitching. He matches up well against the Marlins. And the Phillies are still a good home team. I'm not just going to forget about that fact. They're still a good home team. So I'm going to take them at minus 117. I think it's a good play.
Yeah, and you know what? I have golf. I took John Rahm today, but like I said, folks, you guys do your job. Do you have any golfer once again that you really like?
No, I don't. I don't really have a golfer. Yeah, he already is +2 today, so already not going well.
You didn't even look at it and look at you.
I did.
Everything is going so well. Everything. I mean, the hat looks good. You look good.
And then he asked me about golf, and everything went downhill.
You know what? John Rahm, I'll probably be having a heart attack. You know what I love about John Rahm is when he's winning, they're going, oh, he's kept his temper in check today. It's just and if he's losing, he's got a temper on him. Tiger Woods had a temper. Arnold Palmer had a temper. Jack Nicklaus had a temper. Lee Trevino had a temper. Come on.
Yeah, even I have a temper when I lose. And
Get out of here.
Yeah, everybody does. I'm going to go with basketball today too.
All right, I'd like to hear that real quick.
I'll go with the Wizards at 3.5. This is likely going to be a high-scoring game. The thing with the Pacers is they're still dealing with a few injuries. Brogdon isn't 100%. Miles Turner was out last game, so they have a couple of injuries. I think Beal and Westbrook get the job done here, and they do end up winning by more than 3.5.
All right. So I got Cincinnati. I got Toronto. I got John Rahm to start off things. You have the Wizards. You have Oakland. Or what team did you take? What baseball team?
Yeah, I have Oakland, the Phillies, and
it only happened a minute ago. I didn't mean to throw you.
Yeah, no, all good. I have the I have the Athletics today, and I think plus 102, plus 104. I just want to make sure. Yeah, plus 102. So I have the Athletics at plus 102, Phillies minus 117, and I have the Wizards as a 3.5 point favorite.
Folks, you got to follow Johnny J. Jon Jansen. Follow me. Follow Win Daily Sports.
So you can hear my crazy baseball theories that he doesn't think are right.
Oh, listen. Some of your theories are sound, But the no-hitter thing, that argument's going out the window. They're going to be breaking records.
Nobody's going to believe that. That's too much science, I think, for even me to wrap my brain around.
Do you agree that if Steve Stone, I heard, wants to bring it, the Sox analyst wants to bring the mound back 2 feet. I don't even want to get
just stop changing the baseball, I guess is what I would say.
I would agree that you got a better case where that's concerned, my friend, than anything else. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Johnny J, Jon Jansen. It's Mike North. Make sure you tell everybody about the show. We give out nothing but winners. This kid went 3-0 yesterday. I go 1-1. I feel like a peasant. Let's give our wave, my friend. So long, everybody.